I'm Lily, and when I was 18, a rich guy tried buying my love. I've always been a beautiful girl with long curly hair that is the perfect shade of reddish brown. Additionally, a curvy body and a pearly white smile. Even though I consider myself attractive, I never knew I would get this kind of attention from a man. I had no idea the stranger I was about to meet would shower me with attention and love. I went to the grocery store one day after work. I had changed out of my corporate formal wear into something more casual, jeans that hugged my hips, and a t-shirt that molded around my bosom just right. Once I picked a few items, I realized there was a man that had been following me around the store for quite some time. He wasn't conventionally attractive, but he had certain qualities one would adore, such as broad shoulders, very tall with tan skin, and dark brown eyes. I began making my way to the register, and once it was my turn to pay, I heard a voice from behind me go, "I've got that." He smiled gently at me as he proceeded to insert his platinum card into the machine. I've never seen a card like that before. At the bottom, it said, "Honored member." I began to ponder why he was paying for my groceries. "You didn't have to do that," I muttered to him, trying to stay calm because now I was about to start loading my groceries into the trunk of my old and little car. He had parked right next to me in his Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. I stood there gobsmacked as my mouth hung open in awe and wonder at it. Who was this mystery man? I decided to ask him precisely. "Who are you and why did you pay for my groceries?" in a very snappy tone. He looked at me desperately, as if I never noticed him before he put the card into the machine 5 minutes prior. He relented, admitting, "I've been watching you for weeks now. Your pattern, where you work, where you live, everything. I know it sounds crazy, but I've fallen for you by just being an onlooker, and I want to give you the life I know a girl like you deserves. If you give me a chance, let me buy your love. Dinner on Friday can be a start." He looked at me tenderly and more confident now. What did I have to lose? I contemplated. Dinner with a wealthy man, even though he seemed a bit obsessive. I caved. Sure, why not? Friday sounds like a plan. What time and where? I asked now, trying to take reign of the situation. "I'll handle all of that, don't you worry. Just look pretty by 8 p.m. he said as he strutted to the other side of the G-Wagon to hop in. "Wait, I never even got your name," I partly yelled. In the G-Wagon that revved up, he rolled down the windows with sunglasses on at night. Nonetheless, he lowered them a little, just enough to gaze at me. "I'm the CEO of the firm in which you work for." Now I knew why he had that information about me. But I didn't let it stop me from allowing his advances. The date went wonderfully, and he continues to shower me with the love and attention I always wanted from a man. Now, 4 years later, we are happily married and our love story will continue, and we still shop at that same little grocery store together every weekend. What's your story? True Tales wants to hear it. If you also have any such moment, you can share it in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos and press the bell icon for more updates.
My name is Jazz. I'm 25 years old and I work with an IT group of company in Sydney. The name of my company boss is James. He called us up for a meeting at the conference room. We were all there and the boss' son would preside over meeting. His name is William. He was so adorable and handsome. He was tall and fair and has blue eyes. The moment I saw him, I began to blush. I could not pay attention to the presentation. I just kept looking at him. The sparkle on his face made me feel tensed, and I couldn't stop myself. I just had one thought in my mind, which is how rich the boss' son is. By the time the meeting was over, I had gone personally to meet him and gave him a warm welcome to the company. He smiled and asked me my name, and I said, "My name is Jazz." I instantly tried to be friends with him. As we went on with our task, we also had daily meetings. Then, one evening, I was stranded and couldn't get a cab, so he saw me and then stopped. He then offered to give me a lift. I could not stop myself. I just opened the door and sat in the car. We had lots of conversations. Then he asked me, should we go to the cafeteria and have a cup of coffee? And I said yes before he could finish. So we had a cup of coffee and went on to spend a little more time, which allowed us to know each other. Later, we started chatting through the phone and also continued to hang out more. We liked each other so much and our friendship had already started turning into a relationship. But all I had in my mind was one thought, and that was his money. I began to see all his money as mine. Although we were still out with friends, he had given me an expensive gift, a diamond ring. Oh, it was so pretty. I then told him how waiting for a cab is so stressful, so he gave me a car. I made him do shopping for me every day. We only ate in big restaurants, and he gave me every little thing I asked of him. My life was set. We were enjoying and having the best time of our lives. Just in a short time of my relationship with William, I attained great success. All my wishes come true. Everyone in the office started talking about our relationship, and I told them nothing was going on, that there is nothing in between William and I. I have, however, talked my relationship with William to my best friend Annie. I told her that I am just using that fellow for money. All I love is his money. I am just using him to fulfill my wishes. But Annie said, "What is wrong with you? That William loves you, and you know that." I didn't say anything in response to her, and that was the end of the discussion. The next morning, William had called, asking me to meet with him in the evening. He said he wanted to speak to me about something very important. Later, I waited for his call the whole day so that I could meet him up, but he had not called me up and was not answering my call either. I was worried about what could have happened to him. Then, in the evening, when I had met him, I noticed he had made lots of preparation for our date. While we were having dinner, he paused and asked me for a dance. We danced for a while, after which he leaned on his knee and asked me, "Will you marry me?" I stood still and shocked. I was speechless, and in my mind, I was thinking about a lot. First, I don't want to marry him. All I want is his money. So I just walked out of there. I don't want to be a housewife. The entire moment was just like a dramatic daily soap opera. He wanted to talk with me, but things were already going out of my way. Unfortunately, my best friend Annie told William everything. She told him all I have shared with her. William was very upset with me. He called me and said it was going to be the last time, and said that he would never want to see my face again. He said he had never seen such woman as selfish as me, and that he hates me so much. If you also have such experiences in the past, you can share it in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos, and press the bell icon for more updates.
Hi, I'm Harry. Twice the experience of my relationship went bad. In both of my serious relationships, I got cheated on. My first relationship started when I got married to Suzanne at the very young age of 20 years old. Suzanne and I were studying in the same university. Not just classmates, but we were both the best of friends. I was popular in bunking classes, sitting idle or roaming around in the university campus, singing and doing a rap. For doing all of this, she was my best company. Singing was our passion, and we never needed a reason to sing. Just a mood made both of us sing. Time passed by, and gradually we had fallen in love, where we used to sing, "You Got a Friend in Me." Now we love singing, "Every night in my dreams I see you, I feel you." And soon, without completing our studies, We got married. We were both enjoying our life, and for surviving, we planned to do recording in our flat. We bought a mic, speakers, amplifiers, and built a small recording studio in our flat. We took freelancing work for voiceover, and we earned a good amount of money for it. Our freelance work took both of us to another level, and after 2 years, we both saw financial growth. Setting up a huge sound studio needs a good investment, and this time we were capable to bear all the funds. No sooner, we purchased a new office near our apartment, bought and installed the music system and all the required sound accessories. After completing all the setup, we hired 2 boys, Calvin and John, as co-workers, and our work started. We all worked full-time, but did fun stuff and partied too. Everything was going cool, and after 6 months, I got even more great news. Suzanne was expecting a baby. What a remarkable day it was. I was blessed and I was loving life. God showered happiness on me until one day. 8 months passed by and Suzanne carried our baby safely until then. Then one day, as usual, I left for the studio. Suzanne was home along with our housemaid. Suzanne was dusting the staircase and accidentally she slipped and fell down. She got faint on the spot. Our maid was in the kitchen, and because of the sound Suzanne made when she fell, she went out to see what happened. She was shocked looking at Suzanne lying on the floor. She immediately took her to the couch, called me, and then called the ambulance. We rushed to the hospital, and Suzanne was taken to the operation theater. I was wrecked and worried for my wife, and for the baby too. I was praying that both of them should be safe, but unfortunately, I got the news that we lost our baby. I was disheartened, but I kept myself calm because I didn't want to make Suzanne more sad. I went to see Suzanne when she was unconscious and wasn't aware of who was around her. Her eyes were closed and she was chanting, "Calvin, Calvin." I was confused initially, but later I realized that Calvin is the boy who works in my studio. After a while, she woke up and asked me about our baby. But at the moment I was thinking, why was she talking about the name Calvin? I wanted to know the truth. So rather than telling her about the baby, I directly questioned her about Calvin. "What is going on between you and Calvin?" She said, "Calvin and I? Are you mad?" I told her that she was chanting Calvin's name when she was unconscious. She panicked and began to sob. She said that she was dating Calvin from the last 2.5 years, and the baby who got miscarried is actually his and not mine. I felt cheated. I had no words and just went away, leaving my wife behind. I got a divorce with her and broke off the relationship clean and kept myself busy with work. I also removed Calvin from the job and hired more new people. We started taking more projects, and I did promotion of my work to most of the social media sites. I even made the advertisement and sold it to the advertisers. It took me a year to come out of my marriage incident. Then one day, I received an email from Rose. She was looking for a sound studio for designing some of her videos. We met to get the deal finalized. She was tall, beautiful, and hot in figure. She wanted to get 30 videos of hers designed within 3 months, and she was ready to pay a huge amount for the same. We got the deal done, and all my co-workers worked day and night to complete the project. I was planning to buy a car, and the amount of money which I was supposed to get from this project was sufficient. I started meeting with Rose frequently for the same project, and gradually the professional meetup changed to personal. I shared my personal problems of my wife with her. We started hanging around often and soon started dating each other. I was enjoying her company a lot. Our relationship got stronger, and I could blindly trust her. Days passed by, and finally, all her video designs were completed. Rose was thrilled with the work. She asked me to give her all the music files and the hard disk, but one of my co-workers said that we can't provide all the files and that she'd need to pay us first. Rose looked at me and said, "Oh dear, don't spoil my plan. Tomorrow we're going for a romantic date. I'll give you your payment there along with the surprise." I was ecstatic to know that tomorrow was a big day. I started dreaming about my future with her, and my senses weren't working, and I let her take the hard disk. The next day, I went to said location. She had invited me to a hotel, and the seats were already reserved. I sat on the chair and was waiting for her. She was late, so I called her, but her phone wasn't connecting. Then a waiter came along with a glass of wine. He served me the glass and gave me a note. I surprisingly opened the note to find, "Thanks, honey, for the sounds. You did a fabulous job. And your surprise is that I have left town. Enjoy the wine, Dumbo. My mind was just not ready to accept that, but the fact was, even she cheated on me. Just to get all the video done for free, she played with me. How could she do that? All girls are the same. They have no feelings. I feel like I can't trust anybody now. I don't know whether I'll ever be able to trust anyone. I visited a psychologist and took some therapy so that I can relax my mind. Nowadays, I just remain confused, and it's become difficult for me to make any decision in my life. Kindly suggest for me what I should do in the comment box. If you've also had an experience in the past or any suggestions which will be helpful for me, then kindly share it in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos in the future.